Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Preston Pugh, and to my right here is Garrett of Atlantia,
Yep, that's me.
otherwise known as Garrett Drake, and you're listening to the It's Obvious Gaming Podcast, the show where my best friend and I talk about video games, obviously. If you are a regular viewer of the show, you can see that Jacob Alka is not here with us tonight.
Yep. Unfortunately, he had to work. He's cooking barbecue now at Jim and Nick's Barbecue, and from what I hear,
sponsorship out to them. That's who's covering the show tonight.
Exactly. Yeah. If you've never been to Jim and Nick's Barbecue, if you live in the South and there's a Jim and Nick's near you, and you haven't been before, I highly suggest it. Of course, then again, I hear a lot of people say that don't like it, but personally, I think it's very good.
Who says they don't like it?
My parents.
Wow.
Yeah, they said the last two times I went there was, but well, before they used to like it, but the last two times they went, they said it was just awful.
Well, what do they know?
Yeah, who knows? They probably don't know. But yeah, Jacob's working at Jim and Nick's tonight, so he couldn't be with us. But it also provided us an opportunity to whip out two mics for once, because obviously we only have two mics. I also only have two inputs on my interface currently, so the three of us, we just kind of have to settle with one normally, but I'm liking how we're getting to do the two mic setup.
We're going to sound really good tonight.
Yeah, hopefully.
So don't get used to it.
Yeah, that's if my system doesn't crash on us like it usually does. But yeah, it's good to be here as always, Preston. And it'll be definitely an interesting experience just being the two of us tonight.
Yeah, it's a nice, friendly chat with each other.
Of course.
Yes, it's going to be real good. So like I said, this is obviously the Asami's Game Podcast, and we talk about video games. So let's get to it. I know both of us primarily played The Witcher, and I think I just wanted to kind of talk about that more in depth. I know last week one of our topics was kind of like a review sort of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. But since we've had another week of gameplay, I'd like to kind of have like a little bit of part 2 to see if we're still have the same mindset as we had last week, if we're still enjoying it as much as we were, or if we have a little bit more complaints or anything about it. So I think you should take it away. How are you feeling about this game compared to as last week?
Well, last week obviously we gave like a brief review on it, like what we liked about it and everything. But I think after we did that review and the week following that review, after I played it some more, I truly realized how much I really am into the game. Yeah. I truly felt 100% immersed into the world like the week after we shot that video, because I mean obviously I'd only played maybe like 9 or 10 hours when we did the review, and now I've played probably close to 20 or more, and probably more than 20. I know time just flies when I play the game. I'll be like, I'm gonna just play for like a couple hours, and then like 6 hours will go by. But yeah, every time I'm playing in that game, it isn't just like, oh, I'm just running around playing a video game right now. Like, I truly feel immersed in the world. I feel immersed in all the various stories that you're involved in, or I'm currently involved in at the time, and totally invested in the characters, and even the small side stories that have, like in the review we talked about like that werewolf story, and how like it was like literally like a 15-minute Witcher contract that turned into like this story where like I legitimately cared about these characters and cared about what was going on, even though it was a small little sliver in this massive open world that we're experiencing. It's just like little moments like that truly make it feel like this is like a real world, like you can live and breathe. And I mean, obviously I'm not an idiot, it's a video game, but I like the games that if I truly feel like I'm a part of this world and I'm making a difference and an impact on this world.
Exactly.
And I'm sure we'll get to later when we talk about because, I mean, we've done most of the same story quest, obviously. But, I mean, you're farther than I am, but you had played through a few. And then today, when you got here before we shot the video, we were talking about a mission I was on that something completely different happened for you compared to the decisions I'd made that led up to that point. So that
cool. Further reinforces that point of us, like, talking about how we actually make an impact on this world. Because, like you said, I walked in here and you're playing this mission, very early mission that I had played, and you were something so different was happening to you just based on one decision. Like so many different people died, so many different things happened to these different characters and stuff. And I was like, what mission are you on? Like, I don't even know, what you're doing right now. And I've put like 3.5 days into this game and stuff. So just to see something, so not just like something little, it was like a legit big difference and stuff happened from just like a choice that wasn't very black and white, really. It's kind of like a decision you make based on what you think this particular character, his intentions are, if you think he's good or bad and stuff. And that's what I really like about these decisions, because they're not, I don't know, they're not made as simple as like, hey, there's a fork in the road, I'm going to do the good choice or the bad choice. There's just, like we talked about last week, there's just like a really gray area with the quest that you do. Like, you really question if you're doing the right thing or not. And there's even the choice you make there, bad things happen and good things happen depending on it. There's not really a good choice to make. It's just kind of like in your personal opinion, which positives outweigh the negatives and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So I can assume to say that you're still enjoying this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I love it.
Yeah, it's we'll talk into more detail probably in our last topic about our favorite games, of the generation and stuff like that. And this is slowly climbing to the top. This game is it's even better than I was, claiming it was last week. It's,
right. Yeah.
I've like you were saying, I've it's very rare that I play a game and that's like when I'm not playing the game, all I want to do is go back and play the game. Like the last game I really had that with was like a Skyrim or a Fallout.
Right.
It's just these massive RPGs are. It's like to get them right. It doesn't happen a lot, and just CD Projekt Red freaking nailed it this one.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm like really running out of things to say about this game. I
know it's
like literally
we've been praising it so much. Is like you kind of there is nothing more you can really say other than how awesome it is.
Exactly. But I kind of want to just give like a little follow up saying that we are still enjoying the game, and if anybody gives a slight opinion about what we think, we highly recommend you should go buy this as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely let us know how you guys are feeling about it. I mean, I know we rarely get comments in our videos, but any of you out there that have the courage and the feel like you should finally comment on one of our video, now's the time. You know what's funny? What's the movie? There's a quote. It's Star Wars. It's Obi-Wan. It's Revenge of the Sith. I can't remember which part it is. It's like
you're asking the wrong person, man.
Okay, Zach would know, but I quote this all the time when I'm playing. Even in real life, I quote this all the time because I think it's funny and it applies to a lot of life situations. But Obi-Wan's talking to, I think, a clone trooper. Or no. I know what it is. I can't remember the names of them. For you, those of you Star Wars fans out there, you're gonna think I'm a total idiot and not a true fan. But it's the part where Obi-Wan goes. It's like this. Inside this canyon, like this circular canyon he goes into, and Grievous is there, and he's there to like surprise Grievous and take him out. There's all these like, I can't remember the names of them, these like people that live there, and they're like under control of Grievous and the droids and everything, and Obi-Wan's kind of there like hiding, and he kind of talks to him, and he says like, if you have any troops or armies to assemble, now's the time, or something like that. It just says now's the time. And whenever I'm about to like make any big decision or something in the game, I always that's chiming in the back of my head, like, if you're gonna do this or this or this, now is the time. Wow, that's so random, but
that is pretty random.
I just thought of that because that quote has gone through my head like 50 times playing this game.
Really?
What were we talking about before that?
I don't know, man.
Oh, the comments. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Okay. If you've ever felt that like you want to comment on our videos, now's the time.
Now's the time.
Because we want to hear your opinions as well. I mean, obviously it sounds we're just like absolutely obsessed with this game. We're like, there's not one bad thing we could say.
No, there is. Roach is still annoying me.
Yeah, I only ride Roach when I need to. But
we didn't even get into that. Do you have any annoyances with the game that have like, kept showing their head and stuff that you're just kind of getting fed up with?
No, but you know what's funny is that I've encountered multiple glitches, but I love the game so much it doesn't even faze me. Like, for example, this is so funny. This is from today, actually, when Preston first got to my house. I was in the middle of a cutscene.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't see it till the end, but in the middle of the cutscene, there's not supposed to be fighting or anything going on, but all I hear is like a war zone going on. It's like this peaceful conversation in the swamp. It's just like men screaming and swords clashing and like monsters growling and stuff, and I'm like, what's happening right now? Is it like supposed to be just like ambient noise like that? And then I realized that like there'd be a cutscene, a little bit of gameplay, another cutscene. It was kind of going back and forth like that. And I realized every cutscene had that noise, but when I was running around playing the game, that noise wasn't there. So it was clearly a glitch. But then I truly knew it was a glitch in the final cutscene of this quest I was doing, where I was in the middle of a conversation and like me and this guy are just facing each other, and in between us, like 10 feet away, this guy just like blinks out of nowhere and just like, ugh! And just like falls dead on the ground, and then just like blinks away again, and we just started laughing. It was hilarious. But
you were also talking to this thing out in the forest, and there were these monsters like making love in the background or something.
Oh yeah, there was like ooh, these weird monster fornication type noises going on when I was just having this normal conversation. There was a lot of weird sound glitches today, but
I haven't actually run across that.
Yeah.
The biggest glitch I've run across is I started a horse race and Roach refused to gallop. I just walked, and I was like, what the heck? So I had to restart the entire game, and then he actually decided to run. Yeah, that's the most, hands down, the most irritating thing that's happened. But yeah, Roach just runs into everything, and it's so freaking annoying.
Yeah.
That's literally the only complaint I have. It's just so stupid.
Yeah. It's funny, though. I mean, even I mean I don't even experience a glitch every time I play the game, but when I do, like I am 100% understanding of it, because think about how massive that world is, and like we said in our review, you can literally walk from like the edge of the map all the way, like say you start in the very south end of the map, you could walk all the way to Novigrad, walk all the way into that city and into like a random building, and it doesn't even have to load. Like that just is amazing that it can do that. And it's so cool too, like when you walk into the Bloody Baron's like office and his keep he has, like I didn't realize it till today, but when you walk in there, like it was raining outside, and I walk in there and like there's this window where it's like raining still. It isn't like they put like a filter over the window, like it's still raining outside, even though you're not really seeing the actual rain. Like it was the literal rain outside. Like if I could physically stick my arm out in the game, like my character's arm would get wet. It wasn't just like it was like a fake thing they put there to like create the illusion that it's still raining. It was like you could literally see outside, and I love that.
Now, I wanted to ask you about this. Every time it's raining, I immediately meditate and skip to the next day
because the frame rate
goes down a little bit. Yeah,
it does.
It does, and I don't know. I just like it more in the daytime, sunny. Anyways, that's more appealing to the eyes, so I automatically skip that.
It does, which is kind of smoother when it's sunny out.
Yeah, which isn't like, I mean, it's not a big deal. I literally, you push one button and wait like 5 seconds and then it's over with. But and like we were saying, in a game that big and stuff, especially on consoles where you're not able to run that game and like the highest settings ever, and there be no frame rate stutters at all, which apparently is really hard on PC. I've heard even like really massive builds are having to disable Geralt's hair physics to keep the game not dropping frames and stuff.
I love those hair physics.
Yeah, they're pretty good on PC, but I think there's like this special like NVIDIA maybe. I don't know.
Can you do that on console? Can you disable his hair physics?
There are no graphic stuff on the consoles. But I
wouldn't anyway, just because I like it.
And I don't think there's the frame rate is like we were saying, it's fine on.
Yeah.
I think it might drop solid, to like,
especially when it even when it's raining, it isn't like I'm like, oh my gosh, you can just definitely tell a difference.
It probably goes from like 30 to like 25, 20, around the lower 20s and stuff, which it's like, it's not a big deal. I could totally, and I've played through it in the rain. I've fought and stuff in the rain. Just if I have the choice to meditate and stuff, I'm just gonna go to sunny.
Right.
Just just for the little bit of frame rate increases, and I just like it sunny anyways. I don't know if we talked about this, but the Xbox One version got patched to run at a stable 30 frames per second.
Right.
Apparently, some people were saying it was running a little bit higher and below, so it was kind of making it a stutter. So they actually got it patched to just stay at 30s, which I think the PlayStation version already stayed at 30.
Right. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, but we did get a patch on PS4 to stop some bugs and to stop some stability issues and stuff, which I kind of did want to talk about that as well. I know we touched a little bit on it last week in terms of the graphical downgrade, and CD Projekt Red came out, and I think I kind of explained myself fairly well last week, but I just feel like I have to say it again because I'm just seeing so much hate on CD Projekt Red and stuff about the graphical downgrades, comparing it to Watch Dogs, comparing it to games like this, and it's just, how many years ago, or I don't know if it was 1 or 2 years ago, where we were shown the first thing of
Witcher 3.
It was at least a year ago.
Yeah.
And the game looked great, and the game still looks great, but it looked better back then and stuff.
Yeah.
And people are saying that's false advertisement. That really annoys me.
Yeah.
That's not false advertisement. I bet you $1 million in the fine print of that game, it's saying, don't take this as final and stuff. And it's not like the game last week, the trailer came out and it looked like that, and then it came out. Games go through processes and stuff. Don't say it's false advertising when a trailer a year ago, that's just like going to a movie and seeing a scene that's not in the movie, and then like chewing out the movie, saying it's false advertisement and stuff. Things that take time to build and stuff, they evolve and progress and stuff. So like, stop being a baby. Like, please, for the love of God, stop
people
complaining.
Also argue that like, it isn't evolving, it's devolving at that point. But at the same time, like, you got to understand, like, that was when they had that portion of the game made. It literally could have had half the world built at that point. It couldn't have been like the entire world built yet.
Things get more ambitious, especially when they know they had to. They've known this entire time they had to be on console, so they were probably starting out. Of course, we make games on PC. They're making it on this PC. They had this small vertical slice of something amazing, and then once they realize, well, we can't really put this on consoles. They're not advanced enough, which we said last week, and they've come out and said this game had to be on consoles to be funded and stuff.
Right.
You can't. We're at a point now where you can't fund a game that massive and just go to PC, because you just don't make your money back. Games are too expensive to make, and that's an entirely different arguments saying if consoles are holding back PC and stuff, and you can technically say that they are,
Yeah.
but that consoles are just so popular and
Mhm.
they're just so successful that you kind of just have to get over that they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to have and eventually one day I'll have a souped up PC. I just don't really see a need for one right now. I might feel differently about this, like, well, I've spent all this money on the souped up PC, so why can't I play a game that's significantly better than the console versions and stuff.
Right.
But at this point now, like, I mean, consoles are here and you got to make games for them to make money and stuff. So I
Yeah.
mean, there's no point in complaining, and it's not like the games aren't fun. Nobody's saying The Witcher isn't fun. Nobody's saying The Witcher isn't beautiful. You're still getting a fantastic game made by this great developer. So I think it comes with every single thing in life. Just stop complaining and enjoy what this amazing publisher has given you.
Yeah, I mean, despite the graphical downgrade everyone's always talking about, no one could deny the fact that the game is still an unbelievable technical achievement. Like, it still blows. Every time I get on the game, I'm like, see something else that like just astounds me. I've taken countless screenshots on PlayStation of just like things I'm seeing or like lighting coming through at a certain part. I'm like,
lighting.
I'm gonna want to look back on this again.
In that game, even on like the PlayStation.
Yeah,
I mean, from what I've heard on PC, the game looks far better on PC, which I would love to see it because it looks phenomenal to me on the PlayStation 4.
I saw on Reddit actually. I was looking on the other day. It was like a Witcher forum, and there was a graphical comparison between PS4 and a PC that was like on 4K graphics and stuff. And I mean, granted, that was just what someone said. I mean, I'm assuming it was true, but there was definitely a difference, but it wasn't like I was like, holy crap, that's a massive difference.
I think you might, I mean, it's kind of different seeing a game running when you're there watching it than like seeing a video over YouTube, seeing a screenshot on YouTube and stuff. So it is kind of different. I'm interested to go back and listen to my entire rant I just went on because I went like brain dead halfway through it. So God knows what I said. Did what I say make sense?
I think so. I kind of went brain dead a little bit too.
That's good. We're just talking, guys.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if it didn't, listen to last week's review because I heard that one and I made perfect sense then. Okay. My main point is just, guys, like, stop complaining. The game's beautiful already, guys. Consoles are here to stay too, so there's no point in complaining about them either. So anyways, speaking of The Witcher, some interesting facts came out. I was on Kotaku, which I hate that website. Yeah. Sorry if you work at Kotaku, because I know they all watch. I don't know. I follow them on Twitter for some reason. It's like I hate these people, but I still follow them. But they apparently, one of the CD Projekt Red guys released a video of this demo of the very first build of The Witcher 1, and it was a top-down Diablo-style game. That's what they initially pitched as the first Witcher game.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
It looked pretty bad.
Really?
Yes. So I'm very glad.
Of course, granted, a lot of people say Witcher 1 looked bad, even though it was bad.
I mean, it was. I remember seeing the first Witcher
look bad as in like
on...
just graphically, or look bad as it just looked like a bad game?
No, it was a good game.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I played the first Witcher, and even like I think 2 years ago, and I enjoyed the game.
And I meant like the Diablo style. When you say it looked bad,
I mean it just didn't look good. I don't know. The combat looked very like it just didn't look good. I'll show you the video later. And I'm sure if you Google it, like Diablo Witcher, I don't know, it'll come up somehow. But anyways, I like how we both keep looking at the computer.
Yeah, we're like paranoid.
We're horrified it's gonna crash.
Yeah, even when I have my CPU meter on and it's only running at like barely 1%, and sometimes it still crashes. It's just my crappy computer.
I think it's funny because we always forget to look, but now just all of a sudden, since we have two mics, we're just looking every now and then. Anyways, what was I even talking? Oh yeah, the Diablo. You'll be able to find it and stuff.
Yeah.
But The Witcher. I remember seeing The Witcher 1 being reviewed on XPlay back in the day, and I remember they were doing a PC buyer's guide, and that was one of the games they recommended buying for like a mature, like family member or something like that. So
sure.
I saw The Witcher a while ago because XPlay was a while ago, and I was always interested in it. So I'm very glad I've dived into this series, and it's become one of my favorite series. Like, if they ever, I don't even know if they've released English versions of the books and stuff. I don't know if they have or not. But if they have, I definitely would love to read some short stories about Geralt,
for sure,
and stuff like that. So, another thing that came out, apparently the Witcher script, the game is 4 times bigger than the actual book.
I heard that. I heard it was like 4 novels put together or something.
And when you think of every decision you make goes down different dialogue trees and stuff, that completely makes sense.
Do you know how many writers they had on this game?
No.
I mean, there's no way it was just one dude, obviously.
No.
But holy crap,
crazy.
like, and now this is a question. Now, when they say the game was 3 years in development, does that mean they literally did every single thing for this game? Writing, gameplay, design, development? Did they do every single thing in this game in 3 years, or is it just like they had all the kind of stuff ready to go and then they just kind of put it all together for 3 years?
I'm assuming during The Witcher 2, they kind of knew where they were going. So I'm
Mhm.
sure they had a very small group of people kind of
Yeah.
like preparing. Perhaps, I don't
Because when I'm in the middle of playing this game, I'm like, how did they do this in 3 years? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
Assassin's Creed Unity was in development for 3 years, and that game's like, no, I love Assassin's Creed, and I think Unity ended up being a good game, but compared to The Witcher, it was like a piece of crap when it first came out. Like,
I think it all depends on, I probably should have done some research on this. I don't know if The Witcher 3 is using a upres or like a improved version of The Witcher 2's engine. I don't know. I know it wasn't a completely redone engine because I don't think they had enough time to completely make a brand new engine, in between Witcher 2 and Witcher 3.
all right,
Maybe they did. I don't know. But I think primarily it was just 3 years development time, which is insane.
that's unbelievable.
Yeah. They're gaining traction. They're having a lot of dudes come work for them and stuff.
Wow, yeah, that's really cool. Now, are we moving on anytime soon? Because I had another Witcher question before we do.
Go ahead and ask, sir.
Okay. We still good over there?
Yep.
Cool.
We're so paranoid today.
Yeah. My question was, if you could think of, I mean, I technically have two, but if you could think of so far in The Witcher, out of all your experiences in this world so far, what would be like your number one, like most memorable moment playing the game so far? Because I know two specifically. One, obviously, I said pick one, but there's two I want to talk about.
We can only pick one, Garrett.
I know, but I have to mention one.
Okay. So we'll have honorable mentions in that one.
Mm-hmm.
My first one that I just always think about is there's a mission where Yennefer teleports you to the top of this mountain that you can't otherwise get to. And it's in
Skellige.
Is that what it's called?
It's Skellige, yeah.
Skellige?
I remember in our first, I think not our impressions, but our first review were like Skittleland, Skellige, because that's before I had been to Skellige, but now I know.
Yeah, which is funny because I've heard that like the guys there say it a million times, and I'm like, oh, it's Skillage.
Yeah.
And then I'll like forget what it's called. But Yennefer teleports you to the top of this mountain.
Yeah.
You're doing a quest for her. And I just looked out over the mountain and I was just like, holy crap. You just see these islands just out there like the size of like M&Ms.
And you could literally swim all the way
You can.
there.
And I was just like, this game is huge.
Yeah.
This game is freaking huge.
Yeah.
And just the sun was coming down and you just saw the forest below you. You were so high that you saw clouds too up there.
Wow.
And I was just like, holy crap.
Man.
That's probably if I picked the main one because I knew the game was expansive and stuff.
Yeah.
And I especially with the soundtrack is just, we were talking about that. We went and got something to eat and we were talking about the soundtrack. It's just like,
that's one of the moments I was going to talk about.
Yeah. Walking through the forest and just with their amazing soundtrack, you're just like, holy crap. It was like, I had to reevaluate my life. It was so beautiful. I was just like, my goodness.
I mean, I'll go ahead and chime in on that part too, because that's not my favorite moment, but that's the one I wanted to mention was, I love the game up until this point. This is when I truly realized I'm like, this game's amazing and I'm like totally invested in this world, is when I first went to Skellige. For it was a side quest. You guys might have done this one. It's where this war veteran in Novigrad promised his wife back in the day that he'd bring her back a black pearl from Skellige. And he's like, I'm too old to do it alone. Will you go with me and help me? I'm like, yeah, sure, man. So I meet him there and I have to travel all the way to this point in Skellige. And on my way there, I'm like riding through these at first I start out through this like gorgeous forest. There's like a river and like there's like all these beautiful particle effects and sunlight. It's like early in the morning, the sun's rising and sun's coming through the trees. It just looks amazing. And then when I walk out of this forest, there's like this giant like canyon mountain leading up to this giant lighthouse. You know what lighthouse I'm talking about in Skellige?
Is there a Witcher contract that has to do with it?
With it being haunted or something?
Yeah, I've done that one.
I haven't done that yet.
Well, I got the trophy for doing every Witcher contract, so I didn't.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to platimum this game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm almost there. I just need to beat it on hard mode and play that card game, and I'm good.
I mean, when I was walking up those canyons and just like literally it was like the sun was shining. I could see like all the way out across like these, I don't know if you consider them like giant lakes or the oceans, like all the way to these other islands surrounded on like both sides, and like just walking through this like beautiful like canyon mountain and like that music. It's definitely on the soundtrack. I don't know what the name of the song is. I don't know if it only plays in this specific area of Skellige, but
Or
only
no,
that
I
area?
think it plays in the entirety of Skellige, depending on what time of the day it's in,
Okay, because
I
it
think.
was, I don't know how to describe it, but like you said, it's like, I can't tell if it's really sad or like the most beautiful music I've ever heard in my life, but like I was so at peace when I was just like I didn't even like run with my character jog.
Yeah.
I was literally barely holding the stick because I just like wanted to walk and cherish this moment. I was like, I'm like, and then you really think about like, man, games have come so far. I was like, this
Yeah.
is unbelievable, and the
The
music just made
only
me
other
feel
game to make me feel
crazy.
that way was in Skyrim. I don't
Yeah.
know what particular piece it was, but walking through the forest and like it's just like this soft piano piece that, like you said, just like you don't know if it's just like the saddest thing ever or
Mhm.
like you're just you could just die right there in your chair
Yeah.
at peace or something.
Yeah. Like I said, it reminded me of the music in Minecraft. I mean, we didn't
that
we didn't
music's
play
beautiful.
Minecraft too long, but and what's funny is that I love Minecraft, but like I
Dude,
can
we
never
were,
bring
we were
myself.
hardcore into that for a little bit.
We were, yeah, and that's the thing. Nowadays, I can never bring myself to play it because I'm accomplishing nothing. Truly,
Yeah.
as much as I love the idea
We're so
of Minecraft,
busy now.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. I kind of want to be working towards something.
But that was one of my favorite parts of Minecraft was the music. It was the most peaceful music ever. But like you said in Skyrim, I don't think I've ever been more pumped in my entire life playing a game than when a dragon I mean, granted, looking back on it now compared to like how Dragon Age and stuff is, fighting dragons in Skyrim's kind of
smacking
goofy
it with your Nerf sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Dragonborn theme that would play every time you
yeah.
fought a dragon, I don't
So
think I've
epic.
ever been that pumped in
That
my life.
trailer with that music is like the best trailer ever.
I know, it almost brings me to tears.
Yeah, when
It's
he
so
says
epic.
Fusro Da and it goes into the music.
Yeah,
oh
that's when you know it's epic.
Awesome.
It's like so cool that it's like makes you cry almost. It's like, how could something be so cool?
I love Fusro Dawing people in Witcher with Ard symbol.
Yeah.
Especially there's a particular achievement where you have to knock people off a platform and kill them 10 times. And there's this place called the Devil's Pit. That place you slaughtered people.
The guys respawn there?
If you go to the Vizima Palace?
I think it's Vizima.
Vizima? Where the black ones.
I can see my map on the wall over there, but my eyes
I think
are
it's
not that
Vizima.
good.
It's where the Ciri's Papa is.
Right.
There.
Mm-hmm. Papa.
I was
Game of Thrones
I was
Papa.
trying to think if that was a spoiler or not, but no, you know that in like the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah, where her dad is, and you go there, come back to Devil's Pit, and they all respawn. So that's a really
cool.
good farming place to forget it.
Wait, so as in like, does that have to be a story part where you go back and talk to him, or can you go back
anytime to Vizima?
You just go talk to him like,
Anytime.
hey, what's up? And then
No,
you can
you
go
just
back.
go there and then fast travel back. You just go there and fast travel back.
Sorry, we had a brief interruption there. All is well though.
So you go there, fast travel back immediately to Devil's Pit, and then they're automatically respawned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect place to knock people off into that hole. And yeah, it's just amazing. Just I always think in my head Fusro Da whenever I just shoot my hand out and they just go like flying off of a cliff and like ragdoll, like flailing everywhere and smack the ground. But
yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I freaking love this game. It's absolutely incredible. I love this game.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it again.
Yeah.
So.
That's all I want to do is play this game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we should continue.
Yeah.
Speaking of CD Projekt Red, though, they are actually making, and this is still part of this topic.
Okay.
We're just going to do a bunch of little stuff right now until we get into our other juicy stuff. What time are we at right now?
We're at 28 minutes.
All right, good. Then we need to get through this stuff in like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just quickly comment.
Okay.
CD Projekt Red announced that Cyberpunk, their next game coming out,
Yeah.
they're not even going to be talking about it until 2017, which is a big bummer because that game probably isn't coming out until I'm like an old man.
Yeah, I heard about Cyberpunk. What is that exactly? Is it another open world RPG?
I think so.
Okay, it's just like
It's
futuristic or
it's
something.
based on like a pen and paper game. I think that was made.
Okay.
They're working with the creator of that game in this game.
Ah.
And it's, I don't know, CD Projekt Red's doing this futuristic game. Oh, one thing. Ciri at one point in the game, crap, it's not a spoiler, but she mentions Cyberpunk as an Easter egg.
Really?
She says something in like a flashback or something. She's like, yeah, I went off to this world and there were guys with these like machine things in the future shooting and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're totally talking about Cyberpunk because they said they had metal in their heads like robots and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's like an Easter egg for Cyberpunk.
Wow, that's
I
cool.
thought that was really funny.
That is cool.
But yeah, I don't know really anything. Nobody knows anything about that game, and they say they're just working on The Witcher. You know, the 2 expansions and all the 16 pieces of DLC coming out, which we didn't even talk about that, but there are 4 pieces of DLC right now. Go download them for The Witcher right now. Hey, yes, please.
We're like, yes. Games.
Yes.
Game.
There's
Just turning around every 5 seconds.
That PS4 exclusive Until Dawn game's coming out August 28th. I'm excited about that. That is going to be a fantastic game to do Let's Plays with.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We got to get Jacob to play that in the dark by himself.
Really cool party game for sure. Yeah. Jacob's a real baby.
Yeah.
I love you, Jacob. I'm just kidding. Need for Speed Reboot is using the Battlefront engine, and it is only online game.
I heard about that.
How does that make you feel?
You know what's funny is that like I'm like kind of whatever about it because one, I like Need for Speed enough that I might like. I mean, even at this point, I mean, I don't know how many PS4 games go to Redbox now, but if it was at Redbox, I would totally Redbox that game. I might, if it looks amazing, I might buy it. But I think it's funny.
Racing games.
I think me neither. I think it's hilarious how after all of the Xbox and like before the next generation consoles came out, not only Xbox, I think other things have talked about this before. Like our game or our console is always going to be online. There's like an outrage about it, and it's like. It's EA that's doing Need for Speed, right? Yeah. It's like they never learn. It's like they just never learn.
Well, I mean,
it doesn't phase me in the slightest, but you got to expect. I mean, but
there are games coming out. I mean, I can expect to freak out on a game that's always been single player, basically. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can play with other players, but like in this basically single player franchise, it's always been single player.
Yeah.
I can see people being pissed off now, but then again, you look at Destiny. There are other games that are only online that are doing very successfully. But I think the only reason to be pissed off about this is if you are a Need for Speed fan that doesn't like playing online, then that would definitely hinder this, because I absolutely would hate having especially a racing game and getting on that with your internet out or something like that, and they're like, oh, can't play, sorry.
Yeah.
Like that kind of sucks with a racing game. Destiny, completely understandable for the type of game it is. But they said they're defending it, saying that like the online aspect of the game is going to be really good and stuff like that. But in my opinion, I don't give a crap because I don't really care about the game. But if you do care about Need for Speed, I can see why you would be pissed off.
Yeah, so totally.
Did you hear about Splatoon? That game that's getting pretty good reviews for the Nintendo Wii U.
No.
I think in UK, sorry if I'm getting this wrong, my notes were written so fast. I don't even, can you read that? Can you read any of
that? CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk, till 2017, and then Splatoon heists. Okay.
Somebody robbed a Splatoon bus or truck or something.
A truck that was carrying Splatoon games?
Yeah, and the amiibos. So all these people in the UK, they're just like, well, sorry, we can't get them to you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. How pissed
did they get like refunded or anything?
I guess.
Are these
they
like pre-orders people have made or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not like they're not getting another shipment. It's just like, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
Man,
I would be pissed off. Yeah.
I'd be very frustrated.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Our UK listeners.
Yeah. All of our UK listeners out there.
Uncharted 4 was giving it's coming out between January and April 2016.
Isn't that what we already expected?
Kind of, but it wasn't confirmed.
Yeah.
But now it's confirmed, which is good. March. Hopefully it's March.
I feel like that'd be a solid
fantastic game.
It is.
I mean, time for
you
game.
Could probably
it's
already
gonna be
say
a good game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an awesome game. Good time. Speaking of PlayStation, Vita has been officially named as a legacy console.
As in, like, they're not doing much for it anymore.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's just ports and indies and no first-party support.
I never owned a Vita.
I do,
but
and
it kind of makes me
it.
sad.
Vita's so good, and it's so sad that
that
console just didn't. It's not just picking up very well outside of Asian market.
Yeah.
But I really love its fantastic portable system. I love it. Graphics are awesome.
The only reason I never bought one is because I would literally never play it. Only because I rarely ever travel. I rarely ever. I rarely ever travel. I rarely ever travel. I also, whenever I commute, I'm driving myself to work. I mean, I commute at least 45 minutes to an hour to work everywhere I work. And obviously, I can't play while I'm driving. Like I said, I don't travel or anything, so I'd never have time to play it. When I'm at work, I'm working. And when I'm at home, I'm playing my PS4 or Xbox. So I never had time for one. But if one day I ever had a job that required me to travel as much, like my dad, for example, travels like every week of the year, it seems like he's always going somewhere else, I would hands down have a Vita.
And that's why I'm sad as well. Like I've had Majora's Mask 3DS, still haven't beaten it because I don't go anywhere to play it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm playing The Witcher like every second of my freaking life, basically. So I just don't have time for that. But I basically bought the Vita for Persona 4 because that game looked like it was amazing to me, and it is freaking amazing. And I still have yet to beat it just because, like you said, I'm just like not away somewhere to play it. And when I was playing it at home, there was nothing else to play.
Right.
So. But anywho, it's pretty sad because I think that's a fantastic fantastic handheld console, in my opinion, better than the 3DS. Yeah, I mean, I like my 3DS, but just I don't know, the Vita. My short time with the Vita compared to the 3DS has been I've had more fun. Then our last thing, there was a rumor going around that Microsoft was buying Silent Hills.
Right.
Yes, How do you
And
feel
it
about
turned
that?
out to be false,
It
right?
is false. Phil Spencer came out and was like, no. I
Um,
don't know why. But let's play a what if game.
Yeah.
What the heck would you have thought if that happened?
Well, before it was announced a rumor, I saw that and I didn't even think twice about it. I was like, all right. I'm like, the only thing I thought was like, well, at least it's coming back, regardless of what it's on.
True. That's a good gamer mindset. Of course, the console war babies, they just like, holy crap.
Like all hell.
They weren't
unleashed.
even. I knew in the head. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
No, especially since the rumor was saying they were buying it for a couple of $1 billion or something like that. They bought Mojang's Minecraft for like 1.5 billion. You're telling me that Silent Hill is worth more than Minecraft?
Yeah, I was gonna say too. I was like, at this point, isn't Microsoft running out of money out of all the franchises they're purchasing just to make it their own? It's like, how do they have any more money for this?
Yeah, so I knew that was bullcrap to begin with. But I was thinking of what if in my game. That would be such a smart move by Microsoft.
Oh, it'd be brilliant.
PS4 gets PT, and then they're like, whoop, that's our game. Like, that would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
I would be happy because, I'm getting an Xbox One. I'm not biased by any means, but I would be just like you said, for the gamer inside was happy to be like, oh my gosh, like, if that game just comes back. Of course I'd want like Kojima involved and Guillermo del Toro and stuff. If it was just like another Silent Hill game, I wouldn't even care.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's other stuff to do with Konami came out and they're like, sorry about all the crap we're doing.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's basically it. I really didn't read that much into it because I don't care about Konami anymore. They've already pissed me off enough as it is. Pissed me off as it is.